go down to Miami last night where it did not go so well for the 76ers.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Joel Embiid, his face mask still on. Take a look at Dedmon on this play, though.
It hurts. I don't want to watch it. It hurts me to watch
Embiid
this.
in the face. Remember, he still has that orbital fracture that he's dealing with. That incredibly painful.
Not so much right here or right here.
And no one
right
can see what you're
there.
pointing to, but I know that hurts, and I know Joel Embiid is tough,
Some people
man.
got the joke.
But
fourth quarter, we take over and just look. Watch this. There's nothing. What are you supposed to do here? Like, there is no good basketball being played.
It's 1-on-5.
In my opinion, that's not quality basketball. Not going against one of the best defensive teams in the league, and they make you pay in transition. Bam, out of the bayou, as my guy Big Perk tries to enunciate that. And then here, James Harden. I feel like he tried to get back to that flow that he had last game.
Force it a
but
little.
that's not who he is.
Right, so he looked like he was forcing it a little bit. The Heat won forcefully. Here's Doc Rivers after the game.
They were just more physical. We didn't run anything. We didn't run our stuff very well. We played at a snail's pace. I think, what did we have, 85 shots, turned the ball over. They gave up. I mean, everything they did tonight was harder and better. Their stuff was better than what we ran. Their energy was better. Their toughness was better. I haven't said that very often about us, and that's on all of us. That's on me to make sure they're ready, and that's on them to be ready. Tonight we were not. I want to watch the tape or burn the tape. I'm not sure which one. I'll probably watch it because I have to, and then I'll burn it.
Yeah, he should burn it. I think that's smart.
My God, yeah.
A bit of news, Kyle Lowry traveling with Miami, but he is out for Game 6. So we can all agree this just was not a good performance from the 76ers. But Perk, was this more about Miami or the 76ers?
Well, I mean, Miami, they have their culture. They did what they're supposed to do and protect home court. But I think it's more about Philly. Right? When you think about Joel Embiid, you think about James Harden. And I'm just tired of all the slander to Joel Embiid. Oh, he was supposed to come out. He was supposed to be mad. He didn't win MVP. He was supposed to make a statement. When it comes down to guys dealing with adversity in the NBA, nobody has dealt with more than Joel Embiid this season. And the fact that he's out there on the floor, we saw him get hit in the face. We saw him get right back up. The fact that he's present. Can somebody pick him up? Can he lean on somebody else? Can somebody else take the load off of him for 1 second?
Well, that's the conversation we've been having about James Harden so much. But just when you look at the stats, 36% from the field, 28% from three. They had 15 free throws and 15 turnovers. Now, just think about that. Joel Embiid averages 10 on the season. James Harden is one of the most historic free throw shooters that we've seen, is his ability to create contact. None of that was going on. So it was like you look at it on the offensive end, and then you have 53% from Miami and 39% from three. So you were doing nothing on the offensive end. You were doing nothing on the defensive end. Your quality of basketball was not up to your standard or up to like what your team is trying to accomplish. So ultimately, I look at this, and it was both. It was Miami locked in and Philly not, and you get the worst loss in Doc Rivers history. That's the combo.
Well, and Ramona has a great piece up on ESPN.com right now that's basically about revisionist history, and it's looking at things through that scope. And you essentially pose the question, what if the Sixers had kept Jimmy rather than Ben Simmons? And how about you answer that question now? How different would that be when you're looking through this scenario?
I mean, there's a lot of what ifs when you look at the Sixers, right? What if they would have drafted Jason Tatum instead of Markelle Fultz? What if they would have kept Jimmy instead of? Oh, I'm sorry. That's painful
that, like,
here.
Hurt
I know.
right here.
But like, here's what Jimmy Butler gets there, and Jimmy Butler needs the ball in his hands. Not a great three-point shooter, better than Ben Simmons, but not known as a three-point shooter. And they immediately become pitted against each other because they both need the ball. And it made Ben Simmons very uncomfortable, and the organization eventually got to a point where they realized, okay, we got to have to choose. It's not going to work out between these two. Wow. How different it would be, right? Because Joel Embiid, while he and Jimmy initially, it took them some time to become friends, Jimmy became a mentor to Joel, and I've talked to him about it a bunch over the years. Like, Jimmy taught him how to be a pro. You hire your own workout guy, you hire your own chef, you train in 5 in the morning. Like, the level of commitment you need to have to be a professional, that passion and that fire that Jimmy has, that's where Joel Embiid learned that. Yeah. That's where he learned, like, he became a mentor. They still talk every single day, to the point where a couple years ago when they were losing in the playoffs, Jimmy was watching Joel's games and sending him notes saying, you need to be aggressive. This is how, I know you think you need to get everybody else involved, but you need to lead this team and be aggressive. Imagine Jimmy saying that to him now in the huddle on his own team rather than dropping the hammer for the Heat against him.
They made a mistake. They legitimately. And when we say this is that you understand, like we can go back and look at it, but I think in this moment when you're like, hey, Ben Simmons is young. We believe in his long-term growth. We believe in him, right? Like he was even the year last season before everything went crazy, he was up there for Defensive Player of the Year. So no one could foresee everything that has happened. And so to have Jimmy go, and Jimmy was a little bit older, he was looking for a 5th year, all of those things that they decided against. This wasn't just the choosing between Ben Simmons. There was some Tobias Harris talking there because they were going to get Tobias Harris a 5th year. So it wasn't just those two. There was a little bit of going on between all of them. But at the end of the day, they made the wrong decision, and the best decision that they ever did was to move on from Ben Simmons and say, you know, that old blank your feelings. That's what this is about. This is professional sports, and we're trying to win, and we're trying to maximize Joel Embiid's time because he's a top 5 player in the league.
Hindsight is 2020.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.